You're tuned in to the Who Are They podcast with your host, D2nice86, the combat sports home destination, MMA, boxing, and more.
What is up, guys? You already know what time it is, but today holds a very special place in my heart. We have a special guest because it is a day where we talk about something new. I'm not going to hold you up. I just want to say thank you. If you've made it this far rocking with the program and with your boy D2Nice, I appreciate you and I thank you. Let's go. I have a very, very special guest with me, a friend from LA. He goes by the name Ray, but AKA Skeeter. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, man? Originally from Omaha, Nebraska, North Side,
Okay, that's why I wore the fatigues, because I knew I had to come prepared for war.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come prepared for this one. What we supposed to be talking about for sure, yeah.
All right, and if you guys are any the wiser, then you understand that if my boy is saying that he's from Omaha, then we can't be talking about anything other than Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. But I'm sure you would say that's the other way around. It's Terence versus Errol, right?
I don't even know him by Terence. I know who Bud is.
Okay, all right.
I know who Knock Him Out Bud is.
Knock Him Out Bud.
I know who Bet a Million.
So to get into this, I my first thing before we get into the fighters and the premise of this fight, are these type of fights important to boxing now?
Oh man, yeah. That's why you seeing people like Bud go independent now, trying to get them promoters up out the way, because the promoters is the ones that's holding up these fights.
Okay.
Straight like that. That's been the tale of all time,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you look at a lot of, what they call super fights in days of old, it was just kind of weird that, it's always been far and few between. And again, you're only going to have so many of the highest of elites. I get that. I think that this is an integral fight for the boxing community, for boxing as a whole, and for a business, because this is what people want to see. They want to see people fight the best when they're in their prime. I agree with you.
Man, listen, Don King was a shady genius because he put them super fights together. Man, Thriller and Manila and all that, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, for the times to change and all this social media, and you got Golden Boy and this and that, and they ain't trying to put together these type of fights,
right?
Man, listen here. Go into hey, that's why, I ain't even mad at my man's going independent like that.
Right. Well, sometimes you gotta get people out of the way in order to make things happen. And I agree that all these promoters, they're looking for their money. And so if they feel like a fighter is better off fighting lesser opponents because you want to keep them away from getting a loss, because then you lose the name, because let's face it, some fans can be a little fair weather. That's what they're going to do. They're all about getting the biggest bang for the buck, and that's keeping these fighters as close to flawless as possible.
Now, I wouldn't say. Now, hold on. Now, I wouldn't say that they was setting up lesser fighters, because a fight is a fight. When it comes to this boxing, you get hit. That's the messed up thing about social media. You know what I'm saying? Like Bud said in the Breakfast Club. I'm a piggyback off that. Because he the first to really come out and say it, and I'm glad he said it, kept it 1,000, because of social media. Like, just because you got a loss, that don't make you, you know what I mean? Tommy Hearns and them had losses and was still gorillas in there, and still was, man, that just a loss. Like, just because you got a loss and shit, that don't make you a lesser fighter.
Right.
But
and I agree with that. But I'm talking about when guys were fighting guys who had 10, 20, 30 losses on their record. I'm not talking about the elite.
Them days, them is the pre-Floyd days. Them was during the Floyd days, them is the Floyd days. But now there's too many good young fighters out there. You know what I'm saying? It's too many.
Absolutely.
So but to get this stuff lined up, like, you know, the Crawford. Want to see Crawford, man. Look, who was that boy what's that boy name? Jarmel, what's that? Marshmallow?
Jamel Charlo.
Yeah, the Cisco looking boy from Texas.
As he's
Knock all the what I'm gonna say. Knock all the Texas repping for the old North Side. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Give him the business. And then, hey, I wouldn't even be mad if he jumped down and either made Tank come up or jump down and knock Tank. Go on, knock them all out. And I'll retire after that. Knock these next 3 out. Retire. It's done.
And
ain't
it's
nobody
over.
else out there worthy. It's over. He ain't got nothing else to do. That's it. But definitely, he gonna, you know what I'm saying, man, he gonna hit Earl so hard. What your boy saying, higher learner, hit him so hard. hey, stepmom gonna feel me for the next 3 birthdays. That's
next 3 birthdays.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but yeah, to go ahead and beat Spence, and then go ahead and give old Cisco loudmouth whatever, Marshmallow, Jamarlo, whatever his little name is, go and give him the business too. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that.
So these fights are integral. We know that now.
Yeah.
So both are undefeated, and I think we've kind of already hinted on, because you've already said if you go back to the Breakfast Club, man, O doesn't mean anything, and a loss doesn't mean anything. And my biggest thing behind losses are, it's not how you lose, it's how you get back from losing. Because I mean, a loss is a loss. There's people will say, "Oh, I didn't lose that or anything." If it's on your record, it's on your record. It's about how you come back from it. It's how you approach it and how you evolve. And my thing is, who I even like more, people who come back and look amazing after a loss and continue to look amazing. Don't look amazing for the next fight. Look amazing for the next 3 or 4. So what do you think about that? You said, well, I mean, you already said the O don't mean nothing.
Yeah, man. Listen, just because but I don't listen. I don't know how to. I don't even know how to speak about them winners from Northside. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how to speak about those that got losses. But hey, you know, if you a boxer and if you under double digits in your loss in your loss column, like that don't mean you weak. I mean, it's a bunch of them. Zab Judah wasn't weak,
right?
But he lost. Pernell Whitaker wasn't weak, but he lost. Tommy Hearns wasn't weak, but he lost.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great fighters that have lost. Not
Mike
about
Tyson
necessarily.
Lost, but won't nobody. Hey, don't nobody want to step to that.
Nobody want to see him in the streets.
I mean, shit. If you want to, we could go on street talk. You know,
right?
Like, you know, there's a lot of brothers I know, you know, that have lost down at 30th and Amico, but hey, they still a beast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So here's where this comes to. We said, hey, this is the kind of fights that boxing needs. We've said, hey, the O doesn't matter. So then, do you consider this fight a super fight? I am paying money for.
Man, for this era of boxing, anybody undefeated facing somebody undefeated it's a super fight. It's supposed to be happen. Bet $1 million. It's supposed to be happen. Bet $1 million.
Do you think they're going to pay up on that $1 million? Do you think they're going to pay up on that?
Man, listen. Hey, I know mine is.
Forget who wins at the end. Forget that. Forget the whole fight. I want to. Does the $1 million get paid? That's what I want to know.
Hey, he said yeah. He said, well, yeah. Hey. The man said in the thing, everybody that's seen it. Everybody that's seen it. Earl say, all right. And Earl started with 100,000. He wasn't ready to hear that $1 million though. Right. So he wasn't confident. Just know that. I could see it in his eyes. He wasn't confident. And that was how many years ago? Well, it's here now, buddy. Buckle up.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It is really time. I think that this is, to me, it's exciting because, again, there is nothing more than seeing a man test his will. It's really interesting when you get down to the brass tacks and you're like, well, what are these people doing? You know, when people are fighting and they're again, whether you call it ducking or dodging or not fighting the best, it's like there's a point of what people are supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be testing yourself.
Earl been ducking.
He been ducking?
He been ducking.
Well, he can't duck no longer.
And he better duck. Be knocked into next week. He better duck.
So,
hey, Marshmallow Cisco better duck. Hey, he don't want this smoke.
so
Man,
here's the thing, what I want to know is, because we've talked about, so what we really need to talk about is this. What do you see as far as attributes for both of these men? What is Errol
I'm
Spence
only gonna
bring?
speak. I don't know what he brings. I
You
don't
don't know
care
what
what
he
he brings.
brings
He about to bring a loss to his record. That's what he about to bring.
like that.
Like that. Earl
Okay.
ain't got this.
He the bigger
Earl
man.
ain't got this.
He's the
And
bigger man.
man said bet $1 million. And once Bud say bet, it's a done deal. I ain't seen him lose. Once he say bet, and it's on his control of his personal his own skill, Bud don't lose. Now he say bet on some dice. That's rolling the dice. This ain't no rolling the dice. This ain't no coin flip, no nothing. Bet $1 million on everything. But I don't, man. Earl who?
It might be a little
Earl
personal
who?
for you. You know what I'm saying? I
Man,
think
no,
I think that's that Omaha blood.
that's what it is. I'm just saying, hey, I go back. Hey, Bud, hey, seventh round, seventh round.
Seventh round. You
But
calling
man,
you wait. You were saying that Errol Spence is getting knocked out in the 7th round?
yeah.
You,
If
you
it
did
go past, if it go
TKO,
past,
TKO or knockout? TKO or knockout?
I take either one.
Okay. All right. All right. I think there's big
I
talk.
put. Hey, listen, I'm put these little twos and fews on either one of them.
Now tell
Little twos and
now tell
fews.
me where's Terence Crawford from again?
Omaha, Nebraska. No, Omaha, Nebraska.
I mean, I'm starting to think there's some bias going on here, but that's okay, because
Man, yeah.
we're gonna keep rolling right along. And
Yeah,
so
man, listen,
I don't.
Charlemagne drunk as hell, trying to say he going Earl, whatever his name, air down, man down. That's what I say.
I say Air
Air,
Jordan. You know
man,
what I'm
listen,
saying? Because I think when it comes to this fight, I think he's gonna fly. But now I will say this: I have tremendous respect for both men. I think that when it comes to fighting prowess, I think that this is the reason why we are going to tune in. I think that yeah,
they
I think
ain't
that
undefeated for no reason. Now I say that I give they ain't undefeated for no reason.
right.
But you know
No,
what I mean.
absolutely.
I'm super proud of my guy. Repping the North Side. How as a stand up man. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
A stand up ain't been in no. He ain't been in no TMZ this or that. None of that. Stand up, my guy. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then done stuff for the city, done stuff for himself. Ain't let no outside influence change him. And he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the growth as you know what I mean. Like this is some rare. This is rare. This is almost like this some that's rare to see that to be in the spotlight like that. These days. Most people trick it off doing some old dumb stick, chasing some little something. Nah, this man stand up on his square and proud of that, man. Proud of that. That's what I'm proud of him for. You know what I'm saying? And forget what anything else happened. That man in the spotlight with all
Mm-hmm.
the millions and
Mm-hmm.
stayed on his square, stayed humble, but yet, man, listen, bet something, and he gonna give you the business. It could
I
be
feel
flag
that.
football, it could be basketball. If he bet it, it's giving you the business.
Well, I'll tell you something. They first talked about 100,000, and then it went to 1 million. I don't like losing $1. So
Earl said 100,000. Hold up,
I
hold
don't
up.
like losing
Hey,
$1. So
let me. Do I need to do a breathalyzer on you, brother? Because
listen, let me
Earl said
maybe a bit.
100,000.
But I will
Earl
tell
said
you one thing: if I'm
100,000.
spending $1, I need to know where it's going to. I need to know where it's going to end up. I need to know what bank it's going to be in when it gets to the end of the road. I want to know where it's
Hey,
going.
the scared man came with the lowest amount of money. That's
Oh,
what all I'm gonna say.
okay?
He
All right.
started that. Hey, when he was asked bet something, the
Okay.
scariest man started with the lowest amount of money, and then got even scarier when he asked him,
Mm-hmm.
"You making money, ain't you? Then bet $1 million."
So let me put it this way, because we gotta
ain't that what Bud did?
I gotta
That's
get
what
this on the
Bud did.
record. And again, as much as I already feel the passion behind it, I gotta know, who is your pick come fight night against Errol versus Terence? Who do you have?
Bud, man, stop calling him Terence. It's Bud.
Well, I'm
Bud,
gonna put some
I'm taking
respect
Bud
on his name.
Northside Crawford. Bud
Put some respect on
Northside
his name.
Crawford. Put some
And we'll say
respect on
Bud.
that man name.
We'll say
Put some
Bud.
respect on that name. He earned that. Been that.
I mean,
But yeah,
the man's got no losses.
But anybody that say
I might have to call him Terence after that night though. We might have to go back to governments.
Man, I don't know about that. If he, man, listen, undefeated, you still gonna have to call him Bud. Undefeated, he's still gonna be undefeated. Still undefeated.
Well, I mean,
Champion
here's
of the
what I will
world,
say.
Bud Crawford. That's what they gonna say on that night. That's what they gonna say.
You're taking Bud, and I think I'm gonna go the Charlemagne route, and I think I'm gonna go with Errol, and I'm saying that with as much due respect you can give a man's opponent, because I do believe that Bud is
I gotta put my
great,
catcher's hat
great.
on. Hold on. I gotta put my catcher's hat on now. Wait,
all right.
You said who now? You said you going to what route?
I gotta go Earl. I gotta go. He's now let me break it down for you. Slightly bigger. He's the bigger man. When we talk about power, and we know that Bud can put a guy down. We know that. But what is gonna happen when you got a guy who's gonna pressure you like he's gonna pressure you?
The same thing that happened to that British dude or that other big dude that Bud faced during the COVID thing.
During the COVID era? COVID era of boxing?
That's what he gonna do to him. That's what he gonna do to him. He could be bigger, he could be whatever. But man, listen, you seen Bud fight?
I've seen Bud fight, and like I said, I think this is the reason why a fight should be had, because these are two of the best to do it.
Hey, he ambidextrous. He can go southpaw, orthodox. Hey, they giving him the business. Okay. Lay him down, man down. That's what they gonna say down in Dallas. And then, hey, Lil Cisco, you next.
He's right after, huh?
Man, when these Cisco dudes start talking tough with this blind on top of their head, the name Jar Marshmallow, Charlo, whatever it is, Charco, man, listen, burnt ends, listen. All
I can say is if they come for me, I'm in New Mexico. You can find me down here, all right?
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'll pull up. If they want to be mad at me on this podcast, I'll pull up.
Oh, hey, if they want to get on the podcast, you already know who it is. It's the Who Are They podcast, baby.
I'll take that loss from a professional boxer and go get my jaw wired. But guess what?
There you go.
Still gonna be Bud, North Side, Omaha, represent. That's what it is to the
you tell them just 100,000. I just want 100,000. Whether I win or lose, you just give me 100,000. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Hey, listen,
I ain't gonna say nothing.
They ain't Mike Tyson. Now, I wouldn't say that against Mike Tyson, because you know what I mean. That
especially not if you're on a plane.
Where
is Samuel L. Jackson when
they can get mad, get in their feelings, The truth is the truth. That Bud is technical, man. Listen,
he is technical. And I will say, not only is he technical, but even though I've already stated my go-to man in the horse in this race, the dog in the fight, I will say this. That is at no disrespect to Bud, because I do believe that he is. I mean, when we're talking about technical, we're talking about knowledge within the ring. We're talking about the understanding of how to get around. So,
adaptation. If you want to
he is able to adapt very well. But sometimes even adaptations just can't get you past the power. So we're gonna find out if on this fateful night, if Bud is able to tame the dragon.
Wait,
that's what he's gonna have to do.
What'd you say?
On the fateful night.
No. Go back to this. Something about something with the power. What was that?
He said you're gonna have to tame the power, and he's gonna have to avoid it. And the question is
avoid what?
Going to be able to avoid the power that Earl has? That's the question.
Man, listen here. You got to be able to get that power off. You got to be able to get it off. And you got to be able to land it. You got to be able to land it, and you got to be able to get it off.
So I love that you mentioned that. So when we say that you got to be able to land it and you got to be able to get it off, so are you saying that Bud is going to be too elusive? Are you saying that he's going to be too calculated on that night? That he'll be calculated and elusive?
even if he landed, watch Bud look him in his eye. It's over. If he don't knock him out when he do land that one, if he don't get him there, guess what? Bud gonna look me in the eye and let him know, man, listen, I eat them for breakfast. It's over. My turn. My turn. And Bud has said that in several fights before this. My turn.
Now I've seen fights where Errol has taken some pretty devastating punches on the chin. I mean, now one thing I do agree with this. If Errol drops the mouthpiece and drops his guard and loses focus against that fight against Terence, it is going to be a bad night. I do agree.
Man,
I think he will be more focused in this fight though.
You about to see 402 running these Las Vegas streets on the night of that fight. They taking over. Fish fry, hey, it's gonna look like NBA Finals championship win when you see the city erupt over this one, man.
All I'm gonna say is you'd better hope that what just happened right there ain't a bad omen for what happens.
Man, ain't nothing that
come fight night.
I'm in this podcast room. Listen, I'm in a podcast room. Hey, my little thing then slipped through the loop. I done had it posted up. I done knocked it. No banging on the table. Ain't nothing. Listen, count him out though. Yeah. Early
slow count. Well, I will say this to take us out of here. I appreciate your time, brother.
I mean, this was fun, dude. I'll do it again. Hit me up on another fight.
I will absolutely do that.
Hit me up on that marshmallow fight, and I can't wait to post it so you can hear me calling Jamarshmallow.
Well, hopefully we will get you back before then. And with that being said, I will say this. I think that this is coming from two people who enjoy the art of what it means to have combat. And not only that, but when you're talking about two men who are going to really bring the show, because again, there's a lot of fights that just aren't really doing that now. Now when you're getting guys like Ryan Garcia fighting Tank Davis, those are the fights that we need to see, and those are the fights that real fight fans want to see.
Yeah, man, we listen. I hope they do that. Hey, I hope my boy Buzz boxer Shakur Stevenson get that fight with Haney.
He's a great fighter.
Give him the business, man. Listen, give him the business.
Hey, what we need to see is exactly that. We need to see those type of fights.
For sure. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having me, brother.
Absolutely
Hit me up
agree.
Again. Hit me up again. This is fun. I'll do this again.
Well, we're going to absolutely do this again. With that being said, this is your boy D2Nice. This is the Who Are They podcast. This is my boy Skeeter, AKA Ray, and we are out.
Peace.